Hello, welcome to Inner Growth. This is Wendy Rodriguez, and welcome to my healing journey. I am super excited to get started and to speak on a numerous amount of hard topics and share my self-reflection throughout all the adversity I've faced. My intention is to create a community of like-minded people that empower one another to know their greatness and to discover their true strength and identity in this world. I am so grateful to have all of you watching and hungry for change. Thank you for your time. And remember, being free is exactly who you are meant to be. Many blessings. Hi everyone, welcome to Inner Growth. Healing is a journey. I'm Wendy Rodriguez, and I'm going to get started with an exercise that I love to do before any one of my videos, okay? So if you want to join me, come on and join me. If you don't, totally chill. Don't worry about it. You can just watch. So the way that you get started is by doing hip width apart, your feet, and literally getting in tune with your body to see if one side's a little bit more, like you're leaning towards one side or you're leaning towards the other side. Once you have a side, left or right, front or back, which seems heavier, your feet will actually feel like a little bit more forward, a little bit more back, or side. So once you become aware of what that one is, open your eyes, we can get started. So what you do is you put your fingers like this. It's called monkey hands. Just kidding, that's how I say it. I don't know what it is. You spread them out this way, and then you put your hands this way. So your thumbs are forward. And then you go forward, little circles, 30 seconds, okay? So you do that, keep going, and I will count for you guys. It's 15. Okay, and then you put your thumbs back. 30 seconds. And honestly, if you don't have 30 seconds, you could totally just do 20. I feel like it's the same. I like to do 30 because I overcompensate. But also make sure to keep your shoulders as dropped as you can. That's 20. Okay, cool. Okay. And then you interlace your fingers like this. And then you put it behind your back. And then what you do is you do 30 seconds closing and opening your shoulders. So you do that. Make sure not to tilt your head back or up, literally just straight forward. And if it's super hard for you to close your arms, it was for me too. And honestly, I think comes from the back of your shoulders. So stretching them out and honestly relaxing them so that you are rebalanced. So you do this for 30 seconds. You have 5 more seconds. Okay. Wake out, wake out. Okay, so you interlace again, but this time you go all the way up with it, as up as you can, and then drop your shoulders back, like that. And then you look up for 30 seconds. And continue belly breathing if you can. You have 20 more seconds. Oh, just kidding. You're on 20. 5. Okay, release. All the way down. Take a deep breath. Sigh it out. Okay, now close your eyes and get in tune with your body. See if that feels any different for you or rebalanced. If it doesn't, you can do it as many times as you want. Generally, when you do it, it definitely solves it in 2 seconds. So I feel rebalanced and ready to go. So I'm so glad you did this little exercise with me. And so we're gonna get started. Hi everyone, welcome to Inner Growth. Healing is a journey. I'm Wendy Rodriguez, and this is Victimhood Part 3. honestly, it's more of me just explaining how I feel like the victimhood fell into my personal experience through my healing journey and my diagnosis. So for any of you that are interested, honestly, I just want to share it. So I viewed victimhood, for me, now looking back at my situation, it was more that throughout my life, I felt like I didn't have a voice. I literally went from not really, and I don't know if yeah, okay, not really having a voice, and I honestly am the youngest out of 7, and so I think that for my entire life, was told what to think, and it wasn't intentional. It was honestly like, well, I hear this chatter of my family talking about what went on with my parents' divorce, what went on with, financial situations, how rich or poor we were, how, like, what to worry about, what not to worry about. So as a 4-year-old little girl, I had already engraved in my mind what side to be on, mom's or dad's side with the divorce, right? And so, and then also with like how we were rich or poor, or how much we had to struggle, or if we needed money or the lack of money. And so it was like a built-in program at this point. And it was mostly other people's beliefs that I was believing. And so, and I just didn't know anything different, right? And as this came about, I had a sister who really raised me, and my father and my mother was not in my life. And so as a little girl, I was just trying to be fit in, trying to do what I can. So I literally mimicked everything my sister would do. And mind you, my sister was still young. She was about maybe 14, 15, raising a little, I don't know, 7, 8-year-old. And so she really didn't know what the hell was going on with her, either. And so when I was following these steps of my sister, I was trying to become her. The more of her that I could become, the better my situation would be, because she was alive. I wanted to be alive. And so I just mimicked whatever she did, And so for the longest time, I could tell you I didn't have an identity of my own. It was a mix of what people told me, pretty much 70% of me trying to be my sister, and that's pretty much it. Everything that I did was to mimic her. So when I was 21, I remember that I had worked my tail off and I had a job, I was going to school, I was playing soccer full time, and I was still going and exercising, and I had a relationship, boyfriend, whatever. So I was juggling all these things. Truly just going through the motions. I would feel sick here and there, and I just wouldn't listen to it, and I just was not in tune with my body at all. I just knew that I had to work in order to get where I needed to go. Fuck me, fuck my body, who cares? It doesn't matter, right? So, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I will continue to share my story as the videos go by, so don't worry. So then I got to 21. I was diagnosed with a disease, and so that right there was the first day that I honestly woke up, and what actually became, like, I just went from zombie mode to I feel everything. And so to me, it was just like a whoosh of emotions. Like, obviously I was scared, I was, frustrated, I was just shocked and everything like that. But prior to this, I can honestly say I hadn't felt. Like, I was happy, but it was very surfaced. I was going through the motions. I was a robot. I don't think I cried very much. I don't think I had very much sympathy for myself. It was just like a hard, tough shell, because I had to survive, because I was in survival mode throughout my entire life. There's no other way to put it. And so when I literally took a step back, it was just like wow, like I was in fear, for 4 years, anxiety, depression. I felt so many emotions in the last 4 years that I've ever felt in my entire 25 years of life. And it was the hardest thing to feel. But I now know and believe that when you feel things, you are truly living. When you ignore them and put them over to the side until you have time or make time for them, it truly numbs that up until your body just can't anymore. And you have to deal with it. Literally, you have to deal with it. And if you don't, it will deal with you. And so that was my case. And so when this victimhood triangle comes into play, was I felt, and I came from a religious background, and it was, you do the right thing and good things will happen to you. And I feel like I've been so confused with that phrase because I'm like, I did everything right. I honestly didn't drink until I was 21. I literally didn't drink. I know it sounds like nothing, but everybody, all my friends were drinking right before 21. I decided I didn't do drugs. I never smoked. I never did anything. Literally nothing. And my 21st birthday, I, had my first drink. I drank for maybe like 2 months, and it wasn't straight. It was like 1 weekend here, 1 weekend there, and then I was diagnosed. So it wasn't like and I was a track runner. I played soccer. I worked out. And I carried a great life. I paid my taxes, So like none of this made sense to me. I was like, why did it happen if I was literally, my friends, I have a couple friends that literally do all types of crazy, crazy toxic shit to their body all the time. Why didn't it happen to them? Like, I was so fucking confused, and I was so hurt, and I was in victim mode hard. I was hard in victimhood. I couldn't. Like, what the fuck? I was 21, hadn't drank, took care of my body, and now they're saying I have inflammation of my arteries. Why? So the prosecutor in this point was my diagnosis. It was doing harm to me. The rescuer in this situation, honestly, I try to find a rescuer with anybody and everybody. And so I think if I want to generate it down, it probably was more of the doctors and the medication that I was taking. I literally was like, you're gonna fucking save my life, or there's nothing else. Like, I need this, right? And so I was in victim orientation hard. And those were my cycles over and over again. And sometimes the doctors would become prosecutors because they wouldn't listen to me. And because I felt like I wasn't being listened to. And so that was slowly something that I was starting to get, realize that I now had to speak up. Before I go to doctor's appointments, my sister would talk for me. Literally, they would say, is your name Wendy Rodriguez? And she'd say, yes. And I'd just be like, I let everybody take my life because I just felt maybe unworthy, that I couldn't take care of my life myself. And so it honestly doesn't serve you to not have a voice because of the fact that you are alive to speak up. You are alive you have a voice for a reason, right? And you have the liberty to say what you want, when you want, how you feel, how you don't feel. And I think it's super empowering to you to stay in tune with yourself and your body and your needs and wants. And it's okay to vocalize them. You're not an awful person for thinking the way you do. So going back to victimhood, in my diagnosis, I know that once I became a creator orientation, I started thinking, okay, I have this situation, as hard as it may be, as many nights that I fucking cry and scared that I'm gonna have a stroke and fucking heart attack every day of my life, as hard as this is, how can I overcome it? How can I fucking overcome it? So the creator mindset, once I got there, oh my God, 3-4 years later, right? Which thank God I did. But I started seeing that, okay, this diagnosis is the biggest challenge that I've faced yet. But it's challenging me to be and find out who the fuck I am without trying to be someone else's shadow, without trying to have someone else like talking in my ear, telling me what the fuck to think. What do I want to do? This is my body. No matter who the fuck says anything, it's your life, it's your body, it's your choice, it's your journey, it's your path. Whether or not it be obviously the greatest for you, bitch, you're gonna learn. Like, but just don't be stupid about it, obviously, you know? So I felt that, and so it challenged me to question everything. And it was a beautiful thing because I think to start fresh, you have to tear everything down. All the beliefs that you once had, everything that you ever thought was good, was bad, labeled as good or bad, like, you come to a point where you don't fucking know. And so when I got to that point, honestly, I asked question after question after question, and this was to myself. And I myself figured everything, all my truths, blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously I had mentors and everything like that, but at the end of the day, I decide what I believe. And so from then on, from the victimhood, I went to the orientation, or the creator orientation, and my diagnosis was my challenger, and my doctors were my challengers, and my brother was my challenger, and my boyfriend was my challenger at the time. And so, who was my rescuer? And I had a couple people definitely help me with that. I had a lot of healing, energy healers talk to me about that. I had chiropractors. My brother, my dad, and my boyfriend at the time were definitely rescuers. They reminded me every single day that I will be fine and I will live through this and I will be empowered that way. I want to give a shout out to my brother Jose, because he truly every single day I'd ask him, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? He's like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You know how much I fucking hated the word fine? But you want to ask me today? I am fine. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm happy, you know? Like, but it's so amazing. So in my life, that's exactly how it played out. Thank you, diagnosis. Thank you, God. And thank you, everyone who helped me believe in myself. And I think that that's where the creator orientation falls into place now, because I know that when shit hits the fan, instead of looking at it as a prosecutor, I literally try to shift it right away to a challenger. How is this going to help me grow? Why is this going to help me grow? And so that honestly sums up my thought process on why I feel like it's so raw that I say like, oh, like the diagnosis was like meant to happen to me. Like, honestly, I think it was, because some people are so blind, and it literally takes something to sweep you off your feet, literally drop you on your ass, to like wake the fuck up. And sometimes it doesn't wake you up. Sometimes it literally doesn't. But it did to me. Like, thank God. And now I'd say I'm living and I'm feeling every emotion. And when I feel like crying, I cry. And when I feel like being angry, I'm angry. Like, you know? So it honestly has you have a deeper level of happiness when you are alive and you're feeling and you're having a different perspective. And so I truly, how do I say this? I invite you to just believe that you can switch your mindset from victim orientation to creator orientation by literally just practicing the triangle over and over and over and over again. That was good. So please believe you are unconditionally loved, unconditionally valued, and unconditionally loved, because that's exactly who you were meant to be. And by just being alive, those three things you get. And so it is. Thank you. I love you all. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hi, everyone. Okay, this is the end of every episode, every video, every whatever you want to call it, we are going to jump up and literally get ready to take everything that you learned and put it in action. So what you're going to do is you're going to get kind of like in a runner's pose type of thing, right? In a runner's pose like this. And what you're going to do is literally run in place, okay? For about 30 seconds. It literally gets your blood pumping. And you look super silly doing it, but honestly, it makes you feel good. We'll get started, okay? So everyone, the runners, like this kind of, right? So ready, set, go! You gotta get faster! 30. Good job! Woo! We are ready to get started with implementing everything that I just said to you. So that's good. I'm excited. Thanks, guys.